And we're back for the second hour of Burning Wheel. So, situation is as follows. You guys are about to get jumped by some nomads. Now, before we go to that, let me answer the question that I was looking over in the break. You, Rasmus, you mark this towards your will, not towards opening intimidation. If the test you're trying to make with a beginner's luck test, which is what it's called when you roll your stat in place of a skill, if that would be routine difficulty before you double the difficulty, then you would mark it towards opening the skill. But if it's difficult or higher, you mark it towards the root, the stat. So that's the situation here. You try to intimidate them. You fail to intimidate them, and you fail to send them off and drive them away from you. Instead, they more people join Blasesh, and they mean to forcibly drag you before your father.
I start casting.
Yeah, so let's talk about how this is gonna play out. This is not like what. How are we gonna run this fight? I am thinking. I mean, is there any beliefs on the line here?
Yep.
Okay, what beliefs are on the line?
That's also an instinct.
Okay, but instincts are not as important. But what beliefs are on the line?
I guess me trying to be spooky. I can't be create fear and shit if people aren't afraid of me. So I'll have to set an example of this guy.
Let's have a look at that.
That was the belief I was thinking of.
Right, so you will spread fear and panic in the city. So are you coming into this fight from the perspective like, I am going to use this opportunity to create fear and panic, and not just from the perspective of, I need to defend myself so I don't get dragged before my father?
I mean, why do you think he made such a big deal out of saying all sorts of awesome shit when he went to intimidate these people?
I mean, I take that as in you want to fight for your belief in this case.
I think so.
Okay, in that case, let's roll out the fight rules. So this will be our first time fighting.
It won't, but...
Yeah, it'll be our first time fighting, as in fight exclamation mark.
Okay, yes.
The fight system in this game is a bit complicated, but it's also somewhat satisfying. So let's try it out. We've been trying out essentially a new part of the game basically every session, so this was due to come at some point. I'm gonna find the right chapter.
I have Kit Kat.
Indeed you do.
Well, how do you know? I could be lying.
You told me and I trust you.
Trust is for the weak.
It's true, it's true.
How much does Nikki weigh?
4 grams.
I don't know. Where would I record that kind of stuff?
It's just an estimate.
God,
I know Minnow weighs 78 kilograms.
Have I put weight for Jihad?
Okay.
He weighs less than Minnow. I took the weight. We rolled it together, and you got something, and then I upped it a little because of muscle mass.
Yeah, Jihad is 61 kilograms.
Yeah, and we're 178.5 centimeters.
Okay, I'm going to show a deck of cards. It's not important, so don't interact with it just yet, but we'll get to using it.
Press all the cards.
I'm also gonna drag us into... I think I'm gonna drag us onto the main screen for this.
Input value.
Okay.
Where did the city go?
It vanished.
Oh, I know. So the screen went blurry and went whoosh, and now we're standing in a circle, with a bad CG city around us in the background, kind of bouncing in place.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. And there's like a little meter in the bottom of the screen that's slowly counting up. It's slowly filling with yellow light. And next to it is like a number, and then a dash, and then another number. Yeah, that's definitely what happened. Okay, so before we dip into this fight, we need to let's talk about who's actually participating in it. So Shihao is definitely participating in it, as are Blasesh and 2 other of your tribesmen. Is anyone joining in and helping Shihao?
How many has joined the fray?
3 in total.
Okay. Well, I have an instinct saying be there when shit happens, so he's there, and he's kind of surprised of the words, so he's also of how this actually turned out, because this is actually his tribal thingy, so he actually also drew his weapon.
Yeah, you find yourself like so you join the fray, which means that essentially like you start shit, Rasmus. You try to intimidate them, and they're not gonna take it from you. So they make like he's jumped down from the cart. Another one makes from around the cart. A third one stands up from like over there and comes in and starts approaching. And as they do so, weapon in hand, suddenly like next to you is your brother, armed and ready. And totally not caught out of guard.
So suddenly, no, he's been there all the time. He's just had his hood up.
Yeah, but like it suddenly occurs to you that like, oh, my brother's here.
Yeah.
How about you, Nikki? Are you joining in this battle?
I am.
You are? Okay. So yeah, you're a bit. Are you like next to them? Are you a bit further back? What's going on with Nicholas in this framework?
A bit behind them.
Yeah. So you're catching up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we engaged the fight. The fight is engaged when you realize that they're actually coming for you, and you start moving your hands about, making the somatic components for your ADM of spellcasting.
Yes.
Okay. Then the first thing we do is
something akin to initiative?
no. We start out by checking our positioning. That's how we do it. Okay. So when you try to engage your opponent, we are vying for position. It's basically to say, like, who gets the most advantageous position considering their weaponry. So these 3 people are coming at you. They have spears. They're not going to try and murder you, but they are going to try and injure you. You, Nick, Shihao, you were starting to cast a spell. What spell are you casting?
Oh, just a little something called White Fire.
Alright, so you're using White Fire. That counts as a missile weapon. So you're using a missile weapon. Your brother, Minnow, you're presently equipped with a staff. Right, you drew that automatically as you entered the fray.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if I should cast.
Alright, so that's the question, right? Are you vying for position with your staff, which you have equipped, or are you dropping your web? We're not dropping it because you cast by speaking. But are you trying to cast a spell, or are you trying to engage in melee?
That depends. How many action is one round?
3.
Okay. Now I'm pondering. I have one spell that takes 4 actions. That's basic.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to get away.
Mm-hmm.
So I could basically grab my brother, be damned that he's trying to cast a spell, and then just fly off with him.
You could try it, yeah.
But then again, if he still casts, I end up being in the fray of the fucking White Fire.
I wouldn't do that. It kind of hurts.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen him use the spells before.
Maybe. I'll let you decide that.
He might be drawing the signals, but I still understand it because it's basically the same language. I just speak it. He signs it. I'm gonna keep my own with the staff.
Okay, so you are going to use the staff. Nikki, how about you? What weapon are you using to engage with?
Seduction.
I could do that! Well, hello there, Mr. Strong Guy. Oh, that would be weird.
Nikki? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? What weapon are you using to engage in this fight with?
Apologies. I'm using my dirk.
Alright, so you're using a knife. It's a dirk,
Yes.
yeah, sure, but it's a shortest length weapon. Alright, so Rasmus...
Yes.
Everyone needs to give me a speed test. Just roll your speed stat. But Rasmus, you add a... Let's see... What is the length difference here? Okay, Rasmus, you get +1 die to your speed test.
Oh, that's cool. Why couldn't it be agility? I want to use agility.
Because it's speed.
Because it's speed.
And AJ, you're using a staff, so you just make a speed test.
Okay.
And
Base obstacle?
1. We just roll and see who rolls the higher. And
Alright.
Chris, you need to also
Oh.
just make me a flat speed test.
I want to act first, so can I explode my 6?
On the speed test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I don't see why not.
Oh, I didn't use 4 fate points, I used 1. Alright, so I'll just roll another speed die then.
Yeah.
Or just one other d6, I assume. Yes?
Yeah.
It's a 6!
Okay.
Then
Can I roll
roll it
another?
again.
Ah, it's a 1. I guess that adds 1 more to my roll. No? Yes? Maybe?
Yes.
It does. You rolled a... Oh, you rolled a 1. That doesn't add any more to your roll, so you just get the 1/6.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Alright, so one of them is engaging with you, Chris. And the other 2 are engaging with the 2 brothers, respectively. So this is the one engaging with Chris.
Right.
Actually, that is me misrolling that one. I need to roll it with...
Did you roll anything?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Alright, so
fuck's
he's
sake.
rolling 2.
Oh, they're equal. What happens then?
Then the one with the longest weapon wins, which is him. He's equipped with a spear versus a knife.
You'll have
Well,
to grow a
shit.
bit, Chris.
And we have the other one here, who's just rolling a staff versus a... Well, he has a... What's the length of your staff, AJ?
It
You
says
going-
longest.
Is it longest? Okay. Good.
If we're measuring dicks, he'll win.
Well, I'll compete with him.
Alright, so that's against you, AJ. What did you roll?
1.
Okay, so he has the upper hand on you. Although, no, actually, your weapon is the same length in that case, so that doesn't really matter. We don't have to roll for that. And then there's the one versus Rasmus.
Yes.
Come on, stop it.
No. I will not.
Oh,
And
Oh, for
two.
we
Jesus'
both have
sake.
2.
Okay,
But I assume my missile weapon has the longer reach.
it does. So you get the upper hand on that one. So the situation is, let's write it in here. Let's say Shihao. Shihao advantage versus Nomad.
He has a name. I don't remember it, but he has one. You gave him
Yeah,
one.
they definitely all have names. I haven't really thought of them. I thought of like one of them.
Oh, I
Then
have
there is
double.
Minnow. You did not have advantage versus your guy, right? You were
Nope.
equally matched. Yeah, none of you has advantage. Okay, so Minnow equal versus Nomad. And finally we have Nikki. You're at disadvantage.
Right.
Okay. So now bear with me here because I've literally never run this for real. So let's see. I'm gonna start at the top here. Shihao, you have a missile weapon versus a spear.
Mm-hmm.
That
He
means
took a gun to a fist fight.
okay. So your enemy is at +1 obstacle for this piece of combat.
Okay.
Minnow, you're equal length, so there's nothing to do there. I'll just +1 up. And Nikki, you're using a knife versus a spear, which is a shitty situation.
Yep.
So
Nikki, stop dying.
We just
stop getting into shitty situations then.
You're at
Hey, this was the
+4
first time.
obstacle.
Oh shit.
Everything. Because he's basically keeping you at spear point, so...
Can I fuck off out of there?
You can try.
Okay, how do I do that?
We'll get to that when we get to that. Let's
Sure.
see about this. Now, for the first exchange, I don't believe you can get the fuck out of there, but you can try to get the fuck out of there after the first exchange.
Oh, well, I've already been brutally killed, so fine.
Maybe. We'll see.
I wish I had your optimism.
Let's see. Okay, so if you win, your opponent is at disadvantage. Each weapon type, bloody, bloody, hardy, bloody. Actions in volleys. Yeah. So the game. So fighting is divided into exchanges, and exchanges are round. Each round consists of 3 volleys, and in each volley you may take a number of action depending on your reflexes. So we'll get to that in a moment. You divide your actions into 3 volleys again. Then we fight scripts, and then there's positioning. Fighters shift their position, try to gain advantage over one another. Thus, an action is played out. Each character is assumed to be ducking, dodging, and dashing.
By the way, Daniel,
Yeah.
since I used fate on that speed test, should I note that down?
Let's assume so. Yeah. I mean, actually, no. Wait a minute. Yeah, definitely add the fate to your speed. Add the fate, but don't mark a test yet. None of you mark tests.
No. I just added.
Yeah.
I just added the fate.
Because this is something like this is a part of the rules where if you have like a thing like a fight where you repeatedly roll a lot of dice, you only come out of that increasing one of your abilities. So we'll find out which that is. Okay. Let's see. We'll start at the top. We'll start with Shihao, and when we get to Nikki, we'll talk about
Pooping your
disengagement.
pants.
Okay, so scripting.
Scripting.
Yeah, scripting.
But I'm not a bot. I'm confused.
Yeah, I know. This is very different from what you're used to. So let's see. Okay, the complete obstacle versus test. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go. You see the card? The cards there on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Okay, so go into choose. Click choose, and you should see the options available to you. All of these cards can do.
Duel of Wits available cards.
Yeah, sorry, this is a Duel of Wits deck, isn't it? It should be a fight deck.
I don't think I can outwit him right now.
There we go.
He has a pointy thing.
So
I
yeah.
choose.
Okay, and then
Oh God, there's a lot.
yeah, pick the thing that corresponds to what you want to do. Now, what's your
cast
reflexes stat?
B5.
B5. Okay, so you have there are 3 volleys, and you have 5 actions in those 3 volleys. That
All in
means
all,
you-
as of
that means
15
you
in
can-
all, or
What?
15 in all, or 5 all in all.
5 in all. So that
Alright.
means you need to order your actions. Either you take 2 actions, 2 actions, 1 action, or you take 1 action, 2 actions, 2 actions, or 1 action. 1 action, 2 action, 2 action. Yeah, that's the one. So either you take 2 actions, 2 actions, 1, or then 1, 2, 2.
Okay.
What?
It's
In that
divided into
case-
volleys. So he has. Okay, I'm gonna draw it out for us because let's take our time with this one because this is our first time actually doing it. So these 3 boxes I'm drawing out here. These 3 boxes are volleys. Let's imagine them as being the volleys. So
Yeah.
I'm just actually gonna fill them really quickly with like so. So, and in each of those, you get a number of actions depending on your reflexes. So Rasmus has B5 reflexes, meaning that he can take 5 actions in these 3 volleys. So if he just took 1 action in each of them, he would only take 3 actions, right? It would be 1 action in the first, 1 action in the second, 1 action in the third. But as he has 5 actions to take, he needs to decide, is he taking 2 in the first and 2 in the second and 1 in the last? Or is he taking 1 in the first, 2 in the second and 2 in the last? He can't take 3 in 1 because he would need more reflexes to do that.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So these volleys, right?
yeah.
Do they all happen like at the same time? So I use my 3 volleys, or is it like I use my volley 1, then he uses his volley 1, and then I use my volley 2?
They happen at the same time, but depending on what is being scripted or what card you pick, I should say, like an action may supersede another action.
Alright, because as I see it, my white fire takes 3 actions to cast.
That's correct.
So I assume I could then put cast spell in the first volley, then cast spell in the next, and then that would be done then?
Yes. If you cast spell, then in the first action in the second volley, you will cast your white fire.
Okay, and then something might supersede that.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Like if he's stabbing you in the first one, for example.
Alright, but he still needs to get close, as I understood it.
Well, right now he's at +1 up, so if he manages to stab you and he rolls and he gets his stab attempt despite having +1 obstacle, that represents him clearing the distance between you and stabbing you.
Because the reason I'm asking is, of course, when he gets close enough, he'll need to do a steel test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which could, as I've said before, it could be the difference between me getting my spell off cleanly or me getting stabbed.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll roll for that the first thing in this combat.
In that case, if I understood it correctly, and I'll just try, see if... No? Okay, that did nothing. Oh, wait, there it is.
Yeah.
Why is it face down?
It's face down because you're not supposed to show it. I'm not supposed to know what's in there. Don't tell me what you pick.
Are you sure?
So you pick a number of cards and put them in.
I have a question, another one. Each card represents 1 action, I assume.
Yes. With certain exceptions, like Great Strike. Great Strike takes 2 actions to perform.
Okay.
So technically you have... Yeah.
And what do I do then?
Alright, so
Then
have you
I
scripted
spell-
for... yeah, I see. So you have 1 action left to script for.
There we go.
Okay, cool. And he is...
I kind of like this visual representation.
Yeah, I know. I think this is really great. I think it'll take a little getting used to, but I think it's great.
So I play my cards, and then he plays his cards, I assume?
Yeah, and then we reveal at the same time, like one at a time.
This is really, 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 really weird form of poker.
It's poker fight.
All right, so yeah, okay. Let's quickly check his character sheet. See what's up with his reflexes. Okay.
You have a character sheet for him already?
Yeah,
Oh, it's fast.
it's pretty easy. Okay, he's gonna try that, and
Oh. So he has quite decent reflexes as well, I assume?
yeah.
Stupid nomad. Stop copying me.
And what's he gonna do here?
If you're going to move, at least put it in the middle.
all right then. All right, and the last thing he's gonna do here is he is going to. Yeah, he's gonna he's gonna do this again. Okay. All right. So now what happens? What happens now is we reveal our first card.
Okay, do I...
So you right-click your card, and then there's an option to flip it. So flip card.
Yeah? Now?
Yeah.
Well, I cast.
Okay. So you're at a distance, right? You step back into the crowd. The crowd breaks immediately as they realize something's going on. You start moving your arms, and like sigils appear in the air. Immediately, people are just gone, right? They start pulling back. People are trampling each other to get out of there as people as outlanders start forwards with spears.
Yeah, is it possible that I move slowly backwards during this, just
Yes.
because that seems like a thing you would do?
That's definitely what you're trying to accomplish, right? You're contending with him, and you're in a better position, right? So you started out with having opened some distance between the two of you, but he's trying to close it really fast.
So he charges, basically.
Yeah, essentially, except that there is actually a charge option.
Oh, okay.
So you're casting a spell, and he's trying to strike you. When you're trying to strike someone casting a spell, you're rolling against.
Well, first he should probably roll a steel test when he gets close enough to...
He needs to roll
actually
steel
strike.
before he can do any of this, because he tries to close the distance with you, and then as he does so, suddenly he's awash with this horrific feeling that emanates from you, right? This feeling of death that crawls off you and puts its seed into the life of any living creature. So let's roll him a steel test. See if he makes it or breaks it.
I hope he rolls really poorly.
I hope he runs off like a screaming little child.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a possibility.
It totally is, and I want to see it.
Oh,
Fail.
wow. Huh?
All right. So yeah, he doesn't flinch at all.
Is base obstacle for steel, is that one? I remember it having a very hard obstacle.
Yeah, well, the obstacle is essentially like his hesitation, but every success he rolls just reduces his hesitation. So this guy has a hesitation of 6, but because he rolls 7, that's reduced to nothing. So he doesn't hesitate. So he darts forward. He enters your aura, and he can definitely feel it. Even though he succeeds at his steel test, he's awash with this feeling of dread. But proud warrior of noble lineage that he is, right? He's of your people. He's not used to, but he has experienced horrifying things before, and he knows to just close his eyes and step forward and strike.
Closing your eyes as you strike seems like a bad thing to do.
Yeah,
Can he miss?
No, let's see. He's not strictly speaking closing. He's closing his eyes for a moment. He's strengthening himself, right? He's being like, be blind to the horror and strike the creature. So he is going to. You cast, and you still need to cast three times in total. He strikes immediately. So I'm going to roll for him.
I don't like this guy. So what's the obstacle to hit me?
The obstacle to hit you when you are casting a spell is 1. However, because you're at a better position than him, he gets +1 to his obstacle, so it's obstacle 2 to hit you.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas if he had a knife, he would have been at +5 obstacles, so you'd have had to hit obstacle 6. because
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
gonna get hit.
range difficulty. Let's see if that happens. He is gonna fork in brawling, definitely.
Well,
So there we go. And obstacle of 2. Yeah,
close.
so he strikes you. We resolve that immediately.
I
So
wonder if I'm going to die.
you're probably not gonna die from this hit.
No, but there are more hits coming.
There might be.
Oh, true. He might do something else.
Now, you can. Let's talk about another thing you can do. If you feel like this is getting out of hand and you want to surrender, you can. You can. You can sacrifice one of your actions to replace an action before it. And an example would be like, I don't know if there's probably something to speak, or maybe you can speak without scripting an action for it. I don't know. You can look at the cards and see if there's something.
I can throw someone.
Don't throw your brother.
I quickly need to insert his weapon into his character sheet, which I haven't done because I'm a giant knob.
We know, Daniel, but we still love you.
Thank you.
I can sing, howl, or pray. That's a thing I can do.
Yep.
I assume that's used for other types of magic.
It is sing, howl, and pray is for for faith, or for elves, or for great wolves.
What the fuck are great wolves?
Essentially giant, intelligent wolves. That
We have not been told of these.
You have not. That's correct.
I would have played one of those, definitely.
Oh no, you would not. I would not have included them in my first game as player stock. I need to know the game before I start tinkering with all the peripheral stuff.
No.
Ooh.
Let's see, weapon speed for a spear is 3. Okay. And it is a longest weapon. So there we go. Okay. So he hits you, and then he has 1 left over. He can't spend that 1 doing much. He can't use it for the add. So here's what happens. He strikes you. He hits you.
Ow.
And by default, you decide where he hits you. So does he hit you in the left leg, the right leg, the left arm, the right arm, the torso, or the head?
He hits my pinky toe.
So which of the locations?
He hits my pinky toe.
So which leg?
Left.
Okay, so left leg. Now I know he can then expend the extra success to move his hit.
Oh. So what, a groin attack?
From a leg he could only move it to the other leg or to your torso with 1 success. So I think that's how that plays out. Let's just double check if he needs more than 1 success to do so.
If he kills me, I'll kill him.
I don't think that's how it works, friend.
I find that's a good outlook on life in general.
I'll spontaneously become a lich and kill him.
That sounds like a plan.
Alright, landing the blow. Let's see. He may use extra successes from his attack roll to improve his aim and move the blow. 1 success to move it from the torso or any arms to another location. Okay. From leg to head and so on. Okay, good. So, are you wearing armor, by the way? What are we looking at here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember. Let's have a look. No.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just gonna move it to the torso because he can. Actually, never mind. Of course he's gonna strike at the leg because he's not trying to kill you. He's trying to immobilize you. So you said left leg or right leg?
Left.
Okay, that's fine. He's just gonna strike you in the leg. And he hits you for an incidental, so you take a B3 wound.
What? Oh yeah, okay. I'll just tick off that box then.
Yeah.
Okay. I have now taken a B3 wound.
Goody.
And I am bruised. Banner.
Yeah, so that's just a BR wound is nothing in particular. So nothing serious happens just yet. You get hit.
It was a glancing blow.
Yeah, exactly. You get hit. There's a cut. It stings. There's blood drawn, and your spell fails because you take damage.
It also fails? That sucks.
So
I thought it was like roll concentration or something like that. Something
Nope.
similar.
There is a list of do's and don'ts when you're casting. I'll just name them for you. So we've never addressed them before, but now we do, because now they're coming up. So let's find sorcery. Sorcery. Spell interrupts. Spells must be completed uninterrupted. If a sorcerer is distracted while performing an incantation, the spell is ruined and a tax test is required. The obstacle of the test is based on the portion of the spell that was completed. If it was half done, then the test is half the spell's obstacle. Also, the sorcerer is subject to the failed casting rule. Casting interruption include, but are not limited to, it is interrupted if you are hit in the mouth, physically or magically restrained, is locked, is tagged, is injured. With a wound penalty. Good. So you're actually still going. Because it doesn't hit your head. Blinded, falls asleep, fails a steel test, or has sustained an Eldritch Shield that is reduced to 0. Okay, so you get struck in the leg and it hurts like a fucker. But you actually maintain concentration because he doesn't inflict a wound on you. He inflicts a BR wound, but it's not, you don't get a wound penalty, and he didn't strike your head. So you keep it going.
Yeah, man. What now?
Now we reveal the next card.
This is gonna suck.
He strikes you again. And you cast the spell again. Okay.
Alright, this time he has to miss, because I say so.
Yeah, let's see if that happens. I'm opening the wrong character sheet. He still takes 1 fork for brawl. And rolls against op 2.
He succeeded. Again, almost failing.
By the same amount. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So he strikes you for another B3 wound in the leg once more.
Does that mean I get down to B6, I assume?
No, that means you take another on the B3. So
okay.
You see there are 3 dots to mark off. So you've not yet actually taken enough damage to be wounded. So you still keep
I'm
the
still
spell
bruised. Well, fuck that fucker then.
Yep.
Let's see if I can keep up being bruised.
Second volley. Reveal.
Flip.
Alright.
Beats me. What the fuck does that even mean?
So let's see if beat supersedes your spell casting. If it doesn't, then he's in for a world of trouble. What beat means is that he's trying to get up in your shit and wresting the advantageous position from you.
Okay. So, he's close enough to hit me with a spear, but he wants to get even closer.
Yeah, he wants to essentially, he wants to put you in a place where you have to scramble to get out of his reach, not that he has to scramble to get into yours, right?
All right.
He's being a little big about it.
Yeah, there's nothing here that would indicate that that he strikes first in this regard, I think. So
Ooh, nice.
I think you just strike at the same time, which means that he eats the spell.
So do I need to roll for the spell still?
Yeah, you do. So roll to cast it.
Yes, I would like to fork in my ancient languages and symbology.
You can't fork ancient languages because ancient language is not part of your idiom. You don't speak.
And in that case, symbology.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just about to click the spear. That's probably not the one I want to use to do this.
Nope. I agree with that observation.
Do I have anything else I can gain a bonus from? I don't think I can fucking write or calligraphy, can I?
No.
Let's just see what happens. Click. Oh, it's still open somewhere. Where did it go?
Where did it come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Sneaking around. Being a pest.
Roll. Modifiers 1, submit Arthur. I can use fate afterwards. Base obstacle 4, isn't that? Yes.
The obstacle for Whitefire is 4, yeah.
Yeah, I want to roll a fate on, use a fate on that.
Alright.
So I roll 3d6.
Wait, you can't use fate on this because it's a sorcery test. It's already open-ended, so it has already re-rolled all your 6s.
It has? Oh, okay.
Actually, it should have, but let's check your character sheet for a moment. By your sorcery, there's a little box by all your skills. Does the sorcery has an X in it?
No.
Okay, then just don't spend fate, but re-roll 3 6s, so 3d6.
And I'll take the box, I assume.
Yeah, take the box. It's supposed to be open-ended.
Eh.
Okay, so no extra. So you cast. Now you didn't establish that you were casting with any kind of exceptional speed or whatever. So there's nothing of that going on. You just get 6 successes, which is more than enough to cast a spell. And
it's an up arrow spell.
It's an up spell. So it's increased in painfulness. So you strike him. Also, you hit him because you succeeded your check. Your power is will exponent. What's your will?
4.
4. Okay, so 4 plus 5 in that regard. So your mark hit would be B9. Okay. So what you can do is you can take the 2 extra successes you had, and you can add those to your spell's die of fate. That would make it more likely that you're landing a more devastating strike on him if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So
is that the only option?
Yeah, that is what you can spend them on.
In case I do that.
Okay. So you want to roll me 1d6, a die of fate, and you add 2, so 1d6 plus 2.
1d6 plus 2. 2. 4, sorry.
Okay, you come up to 4. So that's a mark hit. Okay, so yeah, so you do you want to describe what this looks like when you cast the spell, or should I do that?
I think since this guy has been, moving in close and jabbing at my legs, trying to distract me.
Yeah.
And I'm moving my hands and the sigils appear, and then he's just about to move in closer, and I think we make eye contact, and he can see my wicked smile as I finish the spell, hold out my hand towards him, and burst of lightning just hopefully splits him apart.
Let's have a look at that. So I need to quickly address the Burning Rogues chapter, and I'll tell you exactly how devastating this is.
The Burning what chapter?
Burning Rogues is how we stab these guys. So.
Oh.
So that's a 3, and that's a light, and that's a midi. That's a severe. And that's a traumatic. Okay, good. Okay.
Special.
So, yeah. So yeah, he's starting forwards, right? The crowd is scattering around you. The other guy is engaging Minomir. Another one is like engaging Nikki. He's trying to get into like his reach with his knife. As this happens around you, you've been moving backwards. Like moving your arms around as you describe. He's been darting at you. He stabs you. He hits you twice, but you manage to concentrate through the pain. And as you say, there's the moment like where he's moving in to get at you, right? He wants to claim the advantageous positioning. And as he moves forward to do so, you finish your spell. There's this wicked smile at him. You reach out. A bolt of lightning streaks forth. You hit him squarely in the chest, and it just explodes directly through him. His back explodes open. Immediately, his flesh catches fire, and jagged arcs of like white lightning starts like just streaking up and down his form. You can see on his face like he wants to scream, but there is no air to be mustered. He just turns the white out of his eyes and instantly collapses in a bundle on the ground, just falls dead, blood spurting out onto the hungry sand of the road down here. And roll me a die of fate.
Another one?
Yeah.
Just a d6 or with the +2?
Just 1d6.
1.
Okay. So his body contorts and twists and like spasms, and then to your chagrin, you see like the lightning starts to rise up and cluster in the air, whirling around into a tiny ball, and then it erupts and shoots the bolt of lightning further in a random direction. Let's test if it hits you or any of your friends or one of the other two or a random civilian. Roll me a die of fate.
Just d6 again, I assume.
Yeah.
6.
Alright. So, let's see what the book has to say about what is good on the die of fate.
Hopefully a 6 is the best.
Indeed, let's find out. The die of fate. On a 1, the player gets what he's asking for.
Ah, shite.
Okay. So
on a 6.
Yeah, on a 6 is the polar opposite, so it's probably gonna strike you or your brother or Nikki.
Why is it reversed this time?
It's just the one exception is the spell, right? The spell says roll a die of fate. If one, then the thing goes haywire.
Yeah.
I really,
What's up, Chris?
why do I just have the overwhelming feeling that this entire system has been built to spite the player sometimes?
I mean, you say that, but he just exploded a trained warrior in a single spell strike.
Yes, but even so, even the success is about to bounce back and bite us in the arse.
So, should we roll a d3 to see which one of us it hits?
I mean, it's either that or I let it hit someone important in the audience.
Yes.
Let's see.
That's up to you. We can roll a d4.
It is. I think. No, I think I got this. So, yeah. So your bolt of lightning streaks like explodes out from like this. Its place hanging in midair. Streaks dangerously close to you, just just about nicks your ribs, but explodes behind you and strikes someone in the audience. There's a scream and like a loud bang, and then you see like chunks of flesh and blood just like pour like in a little fountain that just explode somewhere. People are screaming like mad and darting in all directions at this point. Horrified.
I'd better turn around to see that it doesn't do it again.
Yeah, roll a d6. See if it rolls. If you roll a 1 again. Okay, it doesn't. So the white fire dissipates at that point. There is like a torso lying on the ground. The legs exploded off. It's convulsing, twisting, and like emanating with jagged lightning. Spasms for a brief short moments as its life fluids and its entrails pour out of its open carcass and then lies still. You don't know who it is and you don't recognize it. And the throng around him screaming, just like it's an anthill of terror. Alright. So
Well, I guess I managed my purpose then.
it is. Now the rest of your actions, you can do something else in the next round. You can in the next exchange you can engage someone else if you want to.
I can't use these 2 actions.
No.
Draw a weapon.
You can use this to draw a weapon. Yeah, you can.
Well, in that case, I draw my spear, and I should probably also roll fatigue, right? Because I just cast a spell.
Yeah, you should roll fort.
Just fort.
Yeah, it's fort versus obstacle 4, right? It's the obstacle. Of
I
the
don't
spell.
know.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So no modifiers, I assume.
Nope.
Not even a modifier for being maliciously delighted.
Nope, not that.
Well,
You succeed.
right on. So what happens then?
That means that you don't take any tax.
Yes. 8 tax.
Okay. So let's just get your cards out of here. I'm gonna get.
Could I could guess I couldn't change the last block to an intimidate, could I?
No. If you wanted to change it, you would have to forego an action in this exchange, and you don't have any actions left.
Fair enough.
He was gonna try and beat you, and then he was gonna try and strike you again. I think. I seem to recall that's what the last one was.
Well, he's a dead bitch now.
He is. He is out of the fight. While this is happening, let's look to Minnow and the Nomad. AJ.
Yeah.
So click there's the stack of cards. Click the option that says choose when you hold your mouse over it, and from the list of options here, pick the one that you think represents what you want to do against this person. Now, if you look at this and think, I don't know what this is, just ask me and I'll inform you as best as I'm able.
Also remember to ask her reflex, right?
Yeah, we'll go into that. Actually, I think what we'll do is, because now I think it's about the time we would have a break. So let's have a break, and you can ask some questions if you want to. And once we get back, we'll finish up Minnow's and Nikki's combat, and then we'll see where you go from there.
Then can I get back into the thing so I can do the stuff you asked me to do?
Absolutely, I'll help you with that. So we'll be right back after this break. Yeah, catch you then.